I love his conversation. I love his swag. The way he take care of his kids. The way he treat his mom.
She like the way I smell. She like the way I dress. Says she like my Dougie. She say I'm so fresh. That's why she like me. 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 She say I'm so patient, but I get it.
What's up with it? Welcome back, FlipSide Nation. We got a very important guest here, Mr. Juan Dollar, also known by exemplifying possibilities. How you doing today, brother?
Walaikum salam wa rahmatullah wa barakatuh. Good to be here, my brother.
We appreciate you for coming. Hey, listen, we're trying to get this to 1,000 likes, so make sure y'all like. If y'all ain't subscribed already, subscribe, comment, and share. We got powerful videos, episodes coming back to back to back. Hit the notify bell so you will be alerted when we drop in a new episode. So I want to tell you we appreciate you for coming on. Give me a little bit about your upbringing, your history. Where you from?
Originally, born and raised Cincinnati, Ohio.
Okay.
From here. As far as in Cincinnati itself, I was originally, I moved a lot of places. As from a youth, we moved around pretty much, which goes into another discussion of Black ownership.
Okay.
When you're renting, so you end up different neighborhoods when you have ownership.
Right.
So started off born, came home, was in Avondale, shut up to A1. And then from Avondale went to Evanston, shout out to E-Town. And then from Evanston went to Madisonville, shout out to Madville. And then the whole time was still in and back forth through downtown. So basically those 4 areas. Now this was all probably up until like 12 years old. So these was all my these was all the young. So you always go back to where you was.
Right.
So I was always in all these 4 spots primarily.
Growing
up.
Been around the city.
But then also at that age, I lived outside of Cincinnati.
Oh.
Parents, mom and dad, like relationships, they broke up 1,000 times, got back together many times. So sometimes during separation, I would go to different cities. Some other times I would stay with my dad.
Okay.
And we, so I lived in Atlanta, Columbus, Dayton, Milwaukee, Chicago.
Damn.
I might be missing a few. When I say lived, registered in school.
So both of your parents was in your life, though,
yes,
regardless of if they separated or not.
I definitely grew up, alhamdulillah, mother and a father.
Tell me about this story, this incident that you recall when you was 4 years old. I feel like that was very unique.
Oh, that one. Well, that was in A1, Avondale. I remember an incident. One of my earliest memories was we was on in Avondale. My grandparents lived on a street called Hearn. And at that time, I don't remember, I didn't know the details of how the altercation, how things even came about, but I remember it was me, my dad, some of my siblings, my uncles, some of my cousins and aunts. We was all over, family time, all over our the grandparents' house, which is their parents' house. And I just remember, I don't remember how I started, but I just remember shots being fired, shootouts. Because a shootout in broad daylight. And I remember the first thing my father and the other man, I remember they said, get the women and the kids on the floor. So it was like, okay, we get on the floor. So I remember they said, get the kids on the floor. Now, this was an old porch, was an old brick house where you had maybe the banister was, maybe I've been a long time. Were they about 2 feet, maybe 3 feet, 4 feet? And you got the little slots in the middle. It was one of those. And I remember laying on the floor, and I remember laying on the ground, and I'm looking up, and I remember seeing my father. I remember seeing his brothers. And I remember them all on one knee shooting across the street as if they were shooting back.
Right.
And I just remembered how what really struck me about that moment was how calm everybody was under these pressures. And I remember my grandfather, shout out to Weed Daddy, Mr. James Henry Morris. Just remember I look and I see him coming out the front door, ducking, and he's a handful of guns, passing them out to his sons.
Man.
And he's right there with them. And I just remember like how it was the bravado. So to me, at a very young age, it tells me this is how you operate during these situations. Because it really wasn't, not saying that there was no fear. Of course there was fear, but it wasn't shown.
Yeah.
Fear was not what they was operating out of. And I remember my aunt, she ended up getting shot in the midst of the gunfight because I remember her saying, I'm not on this. She got up off the ground and said, I'm going home in the middle of a shootout. And she ended up getting hit during that time. I remember that. Remember the ambulance, remember everybody showing up. But even with that, that was a part of realizing from a young age that was normality. Now I know from one perspective, someone going to view this and say, oh, wow, the shooting kids and broad daylight and men's and reckless and gangsters and thugs. And no, but you also got to look at from a different perspective is that these were sons. These were fathers.
Yeah.
These were brothers. These were grandparents. This was family. Regardless of how it got started, it is, I protect this. This is what taught me protection. This is what taught me you provide, you protect, you be a beacon of guidance to those that surround you. And that moment, it told me that the value of family, protecting that. It was another story. Sometimes we take it too far with that, but I understood that from a very young age. And now the negative part about it, let's be honest, is that I mean, it is violence regardless of how you had started, regardless how it came about. So yeah, I think I didn't realize that. Yeah, that was normal to me. Now that was the first of many incidents. First of many. So it becomes normality, you know.
So coming up with your, mother and father both playing a role in your life. When you were younger, did you, play sports? What type of grades did you get in school? And what ultimately made you, I'm gonna say, like jump off the porch?
Okay. Sports. Yeah, I played all sports. Elementary. I remember I ran track, gymnastics, football, baseball, basketball. I did probably up into junior high. But I played these sports, but I never really take them serious. I never took them serious. Like I may enter a team, quit. And I just really just did it in what we did in the neighborhoods back then. But this was every day, all day. And then by the time high school came, it was football. I was pretty good in football. I was very athletic. I was very fast and strong for my size. But that I end up, well, that didn't make it too far because I was already in the streets at that time.
Oh, by high school you was out in the streets.
Yeah, absolutely.
Really?
Yeah. So literally, I went to Withrow. So majority, I'm gonna say of our starters, at least half of them, we was already in the streets because this was freshmen. Our coaches would have to say, he'll pull up on our blocks and neighborhoods and be like, get off, go home. You gotta go practice. Yeah, so very young age. So football, because of the streets, I didn't take serious, but I was pretty good at it. And then I also had an altercation with the coach, which I see now that's not the best way to approach the thing, but I was used to that. And I didn't handle it the right way. I handled it like we was in the streets.
Gotcha.
So needless to say, it ended my football career. And it was ironic too, because when he was in there, he was just a sad dude. He was like, and I was afraid. He was like, well, that's about my sophomore year. And he was saying it was seniors that was up there. Michigan State was up there offering them full rides. And he said, when they came in, they was asking who number 36 was. And we like, 36, he's a freshman. They're like, they're asking about you, these big colleges, and this. And I'm like, well, there goes that. So here we go to Spec Streets. It's full time with this.
Full time.
Yeah. So I didn't look at it. There was no loss. It was like, all right, whatever. So I didn't do that. So going, we go to the streets. Oh no, it was one more after that.
The type of grades you was
Oh,
getting in
grades.
school.
Grades. Oh man, I was pretty much a straight A student.
Yeah.
Like A's and B's. Like pretty much A's and B's. All the way up until probably ninth grade. Like I was A's and B's up to ninth grade. Ninth grade, yeah, I went through withdrawal. You had every neighborhood in Cincinnati that went through withdrawal at the time. This is in the 90s. So I'm be honest, we didn't learn anything. The education system was a joke back then, to be honest. They had a list back then of half a percentage of the school that they had their own task force list.
Damn.
All these kids streets from a very young age.
Yeah.
So no, we didn't learn anything. I'm be honest, I hadn't learned anything in public education, schooling, to be honest, since probably 7th grade. I can honestly tell you the last time that I learned something in public schooling, was 7th grade. Everything after that was the epitome of self-education. I taught them to myself.
I know, like talking to you, I can just tell, we had our phone conversations. Like, I can just tell how you you articulate. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So some guys that come from the streets, like you can just tell, like this, street cat or whatever.
Right.
But just conversating with you, I'm like, damn, it sounds like he got some form of education in his background. Like he read some books or something. You know what I mean? So that's why I was curious about that. Like,
shout out to my mom. Shout out to my mom. Now, coming from households of, we have a lot of problems in a lot of our Black households, especially even even now, we just watch them evolve more. But my mom was very adamant. She didn't graduate from high school, or neither did my dad. But my mom was very adamant about education. She would sit us down at tables when we was young. In the hood, Hewitt and Bonaparte, middle hood, all the kids come to our door, like, y'all come outside. We're like, nah, we ain't come out yet. Saturday morning is 10 o'clock and our mom got us at the table. We like, this is cruel. Yeah. But we didn't understand the value of it. But now I do. So, but I was way ahead in school than a lot of my peers. So when I went all these different places, all these different schools, they be like, well, how you learn? We're not doing it. How you learn? Like, my mom. Oh. So she instilled something in me at a very young age, the importance of education. And I understood it didn't have to always come from, with general education, from general teachings. It can come from many different forms, because you learn. You learn as long as you got the right credible sources. So up until then, I always had good grades. And then the last time I probably entered a school, public school, was probably, I think, 10th grade. 10th grade. So I first really jumped off the porch, to be honest, probably 13.
13?
Yes.
Like, what was your ambition, like, with, street life? What was your, all right, I'm trying to, hustle to get some money to buy some property? Was you just out there, like, hustling because you thought the city had needs? Or like, what was your goals? What was you thinking? Like, what was your plan?
At that age, honestly, no. When I first, there wasn't no real goal. Well, yeah, the goal was, this was get some money.
Make some money.
Wanted to get money and do things. It was beyond materialistic things, right?
Okay.
Of course, I wanted, of course I did all that. I had all the new gear, all these things I would do, but I wanted to do for my family. Like I really did. I really did. So I really did. And my parents, they didn't know. See, this is the other part, right? Mm-hmm. That when people say it's ironic, I have a father. Let me understand about my father. My father was a hardworking man. a no nonsense type guy. Like he was, but he was adamant about responsibility. He was adamant about providing. He was adamant about being a beacon of guidance. He was adamant about having your morals and characters. So he was adamant about these things. And my father used to work construction. So, but at times things get hard. Sometimes, back then you get laid off and you get things. So things get hard sometimes. But my parents always made it through. And I watched them always make it through. So when I did first jump out the porch, now my father, he with his children in his household, he really, I can honestly say that was a priority, striving to keeping his kids out the streets.
Okay. So you got siblings?
Yes, I got 7 siblings.
Damn, for real?
Yes, it was 8 of us all together.
Big family.
Yes, right. So, and it, all this responsibility was still,
Where do you rank
parents.
at? Like, for as
I am the
middle,
or I guess you would say middle. I'm the 5th.
Okay.
I'm the 5th. I'm 5th. I got 4 older siblings than me.
Okay.
And then there's 3 under me.
Okay.
So I was, pretty much the middle child. And I was in between 2 females, which was another going to explain reasons why I was doing a lot of things at an early age. I was in between 2 females. Say, for example, my oldest brother, Jeffrey Love, he was 6 years older than me. And then my other brother under him, his name Jeffrey, little Jeffrey. That's another story. He's 5 years older than me. Then came my brother Tony, which was like 3. Then my sister Angie, which was like is 2. And then my other sister under me, Liza, she's 3. So I was in between 2 girls. So who am I going to be with? So they got to pair me with the boys, the older, which was all older. So I was doing a lot of things and got exposure at a very young age, but I was being expected, held accountable for my actions, to be responsible as them as well. And I learned that from a very young age as well. So I was in the middle child of that.
When you was in the streets, where did the rap career come along?
Juan Dollar. Yeah. Fucking Future. They say slow money going, man? You got this is show money. Slow money is better than no money. Flashy. You gotta take your time, cars. I'm kind of a contradiction, So grind, don't race. Who might have criticized my house? Look like a fake case. You're too fucking flashy. Square footage, you see the lighting. My damn neck look like a damn indictment. Diamonds. Yeah, my money young. How can it be old? Made it all since I been home on parole. What happened to all my money? Lost it in the phone.
Pound fuck your feelings, man. Order your shirt. Pound fuck your feelings.
Know that DA watches. All them bitches got my picture. When I'm on the mound, man, they know that I'm a good
Now look,
bitch. From back in the day, I used
now you
to
see
put
how
the
we
legs
came here.
bubble. I didn't
Let's
think
count
I
it out.
unless my money double. When they see me, they like something like that.
Something like
Pulling up, he causing trouble. Baby daddy's mad, know that they didn't like me. Make her see find something to do. Wishing they indict me. So grind, don't race. Who might have criticized my house? Look like a fake case. The too fucking flashy. Square footage, you see the lighting. My damn neck look like a damn indictment.
I was born a fed child. My granddad was a kingpin. My uncle had them keys. My other uncle, he was getting it in. My other uncle went to feds and did a 10. Man, the Pyrex is a fish tank. I can make them birds swim. I'm big ace, paid in full. Spent the 30 on my jewels. Frank Mueller, super cooler. Lottie-dottie, slick the ruler. And I keep a gang of shooters. Me go pick up cause I can move 100 bags of loud. Women in and they super duper. You don't think I'm money laundering.
Was it you was already in the streets, then you started rapping? Or was you kind of like rapping a little bit, then you start like going harder in the streets?
No, it was first. I used to always say this. I am not a rapper. I am an author. So
so you telling true stories?
Yeah, it was
Okay.
never. I was never a rap. I used to rap when I was younger, kid. And I remember I used to just I used to rap where everything was going on with me, but I was always able to remember what I freestyled. But that was normal to me. And people was like, how do you remember what you just said? I'm like, I don't know. Can everybody do that? They're like, no. Then I would hear that more and more as I got older. And it was just an exercise for me. It was about the creativity. It was about the art for me. So it wasn't, it just it was an outlet. So I would always do this. And then I finally just started recording later on because I used to always do this since a teenager. 15, I'm walking around. And I would say, and people be like, who is that? And I'll make them say it's somebody else, whatever rapper it was or out there group at the time. They like, that was hard. But I would never say it was me. I would never say it was me. And then with people who it was me, like the older guys be like, man, what you 15? Man, by the time he turned about 17, man, he go, you know what? You should take this serious. I'm going to get some money. I'm doing what they really about.
Yeah, right.
All right, so that at a very young age, that's what it was. But then I finally started recording more, I think. No, I finally actually really started recording seriously was after I came home from my first beat.
Okay.
And that's when we first created, that's the Stack of Starve Day. That only lasts about 6 months. And then I started recording again when I came back home 2 years later, when I came back home. And then 6 months after that is when I started recording I started recording after that. Yeah. So by that time, I probably only had about a total of 6 months recording.
Man, that song you sent me when you said, like, I know it said something about it was like different cities, and then you named something.
Oh,
about
jumping out the gym.
Oh man, that's
Jumping out the gym, I'm still ballin'. Got a lot of missed calls, haters keep calling. So I VI message, text them back. I'm still ballin', bitch. Take that. I'm still doing good. Tell the haters take that. New ice, new whips. Take that. I don't bond, still stuntin'. Take that. Life ain't frontin', bitch. Take that. Dodge your clowns, dodge your suckers, gold diggers, dodge your.
oh man, that's fire. I was like, damn, you say that, all that's true.
Yeah.
I was like, damn, that was like
That
was deep. So do you feel like have any of your, because I know they doing this nowadays, like they using people lyrics and using it against them. Did this happen to you in any way?
No, not officially.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I mean, things wasn't no secret with me. So that's another reason why I understand that I couldn't release certain things at the time because I mean it was real.
Yeah, that was
everything was real, and like I say,
you probably can talk about it after the fact, but
yes,
you can't talk about
right.
it.
That's why I think
that's
things I can mention, certain things I can talk about now because I'm no longer doing these things.
Right.
So that is not a part of me who I am. It's past tense. So
right.
And it's a lot of certain things I can talk about. Everything I can't talk about. I would tell people, I would like what you see is pretty much what you get. I would say 70% of the things, pretty much open book I can talk about. It's another 30%. I will not deny nor confirm.
Okay. What can you tell us about what happened in 20, was it 01?
Oh, 01. 01 was, that would be my first incarceration at 22. I was like 22, 23. This one pertained to, now I'm gonna be honest. Prior to this, I don't even know how I skipped juvenile. Let's be honest. So I take accountability.
Okay.
There were so many close calls for so many things that I don't even know how I'm did a lot. Time is it was certain things wasn't meant to be. That's why I accept certain things that come. So about time my first incarceration happened. And at that time, you know, of course, I've been questioned about many things. I just never had no official charges of certain things. But once again, certain things are hearsay. But once this particular situation happened, this was my first incarceration. And this was basically a botched robbery. Basically a robbery attempt that didn't go as planned.
Somebody was trying to rob you.
Yes. Which and I also had my 6-year-old child with me, which was my nephew, Tony.
Damn,
baby.
somebody really tried to stick you up with your child.
Yeah,
Damn.
he was my 6-year-old Tony baby, which really is my nephew.
Oh,
And his dad died of sickle cell anemia. My brother Tony.
okay.
In '98, so that was like 3 years prior to that. So now his children is my responsibility.
Gotcha.
So I had my 6-year-old child with me at that time. So it was a situation that I honestly I look at a lot different now that I'm older, with a different mindset. Cause I grew up in an era that we understood what came along with what we do. We supposed to. Because I came up in an era, and especially where I came up in a place where I lived in Cincinnati, Ohio, where you couldn't talk if you didn't live it. If you didn't, you couldn't do it. You couldn't do it because, as you said, back then there was no, phones were just coming around in the early 2000s, late 90s now. But other than that, there was none of that. There was no internet. That you couldn't do all that. If you did it, you was doing that outside.
Right.
I mean, everybody seen you. Everybody knew.
Yeah.
They might not have been in your business, but you knew. Come on, man.
Yeah.
You knew.
Sure.
You used the hood. No, everybody know that.
Yeah.
So you couldn't talk if you didn't live it. So understanding that, you also understood that what comes along with that. And you had to accept that. And I understood that from a very young age. Whatever came along with it, I had to accept it. Incarceration came along with that. I had to accept it. I knew that dishonesty, distrust. I understood that even death would come along with it. And sadly, I mean, I was okay with that because you're supposed to accept what comes along with it. So I was loyal to it as I was supposed to be. If I decide to engage in this, you are to be loyal to this and accept what comes along with it. So I did. So at this, going back to this particular time, let's just say, that's why I say my mindset. That wasn't the first instance. I've been through a lot by that age.
Yeah.
Let's just say that. So for me, it was just another day. Honestly, like literally, it was just another day. I've been through that much by that age that it was just another day. So I look at it much different now. So my mindset then was of I think it was anger driven by, I think, pride. Because our pride and ego, as far as saying, we know that we also understood when you really came from the streets that if you allow something to happen, it continue to keep happening. So it was always of something of, once you open up that door, you can't close it. Because now,
like you let somebody take something from you.
Everybody. We just seen it.
Yeah.
And you go to prison, from the streets, it's all the same mentality.
Yeah.
So for me, it was always, this door ain't gonna never open.
Yeah,
every time somebody this door ain't open.
Right.
So it was it was driven by that, which honestly, I mean, if we be honest with ourselves, but that's kind of, when you in that, the mindset that it has to be. You don't want to, but it has to be, because we, like I said, once that door is open, once it's blood in the water, the shark is out. Whether you don't want it to be that way or not. Right. So now I view it I view the situation much different now. Now I view the situation of all people that didn't count parties that's involved. Coming from a place of inequity, lack of education, lack of self-value, lack of self-worth, lack of knowledge of financial literacy, global history, economics, everything that you name. So I don't look at a lot of my past altercations the same anymore, because I look at it as regardless, we all lost. We all lost, man. Like, be honest, that was lost. Even I can be honest, like it's not about glorification for me, it's about narration. Because when you listen to these things, I'm putting in a mindset and I'm taking accountability and say, do you understand how lost he is? Yes, he is supposed to be loyal to all of this.
Right.
Because he chooses to engage in this. But now it's asked the question, is that the only option? No, it ain't the only option. So now you got to be honest with yourself and say, now, what are you doing it for? Now it's about comfort. It's about comfort. Let's be honest with ourselves. So, and I got to take that and accept all that comes along with that, man. So it has me a different mindset now. Like, dude, now I look at myself, I'm like, yes, Lord. Now I choose to Big Holly gonna like this. I had to do this RDAP, right? In the Feds program called RDAP, right? And he was always say, y'all loyal to the streets. And y'all should be loyal to y'all family, right? I'm like, yeah, but he is absolutely right. But I would say when you in that, you have to accept the consequences that come along with your actions. So therefore, you have to be loyal to that. Now, once you get out of that and over that, then you choose to be loyal to your family. Go be loyal to your family. Can't do both.
Damn.
So now I'm loyal to my family. But when I was doing that, yes, I was supposed to be loyal to that. Now you can't get in that little small room and now you want to be loyal to your family.
Damn.
No. You had an option.
Yeah.
This what you come. No, this comes along with this.
You signed up for it.
This is what you signed up for.
Yep.
This is what you signed up for. And I can honestly say, and this ain't no pride, it's not no ego. I have navigated through that with perfection. Because I've understood you never place your burden on another individual. I'm not going to place my burden on another individual. I handle that. Even they place one place on me, I don't keep passing it on. I handle that. But now I don't put myself in that situation because I choose to be loyal to my family. So I'm no longer loyal to that no more. I'm not loyal to that no more.
Ain't no mystery.
I am not loyal to that no more. Now I'm loyal to my family. But in engaging, yes, I had to be loyal to that at that time.
That's real. That's deep, man.
So my charges, initially it was I got indicted for murder, which carried 15 years to life, and then it was an underlining one of voluntary manslaughter. And alhamdulillah, I fought. I was in there for like 6 months, and I had a very good lawyer. It wasn't cheap. I did have a lot of love, a lot of support. But I didn't just depend on the lawyer at the time. And I didn't know much about law at the time, but even in there, I'm going to the law library, I'm studying, I'm learning. Every time he comes see me, I'm like, look, this what this charge is, this what that, I fit with this, I fit in with this and that. And he like, you know, it's what you pay me for. I'm like, yeah, but I still got to trust in me. Yeah. This is my mindset at 23 years old.
Right.
This was my mindset at 23 years old. And he was like, I'd never seen this. I'm like, and I'm on the phone. I'm calling my peoples. I need y'all to look up that. I need to get this. I need to get that. I need this. I need that. And I just couldn't just put it all on him. Now, there was a lot of mitigating facts. Now, the situation that is, now you say, well, it would sound like a self-defense, right?
I would think.
Right? Now, not even going into details of all parties, but the problem is that at Ohio at that time, you didn't have carry to conceal. You didn't have carry. You couldn't carry at that time.
Oh, okay.
And then Ohio didn't have a self-defense law. You had to take it to trial, and a jury of your peers have to say it was self-defense. Now, we talking about 2001. This was during the riots, Cincinnati. We talking about everything was going on with the blacks and young black males, the police and the young black males at the time.
Right.
Come on. So let's deal with reality. Now, on top of that, let's be honest, who I was at the time. I'm not going to lie, 22, 23, I'm not going to lie, man. Yeah, we was hot. We was on fire. We was young, getting it, man, and it was a mindset of, yeah, I got it and I ain't hot. Remember starting that from 4 years old, that was imprinted. No, nobody running nowhere, nobody going nowhere, none of that. Whatever come along with it comes along with it.
Right.
So it ended with a lot of altercations, like going nowhere. If we would hear things and like, you hear, word in the streets, be like, man, y'all be careful. We hear such and this and such and this. You keep hearing it for different alleys. Like, all right, I go out more by myself.
Mm-hmm.
Walk in by myself. I'm going. What club is popping that night? Wherever I'm going out there. What's up? Who looking for me? I ain't hard to find.
Yeah.
You ain't got to come find me. I'm coming to you. But that was that mindset of, remember, starting from 4 years old. So without getting into too many details, let's say that became normal growing up.
Mm-hmm.
He can fight, he can shoot.
Fight,
he can fight, he can shoot.
Hell of a reputation there.
But I was never no troublemaker.
Right.
I was never that. One of the coolest dudes in the world.
Yeah.
That's the same like my father. Like the men and my uncles and my grandfather. They hard, cool. But as I said, no nonsense. The wrong individuals, bro. Got the hard goals. But don't get on that side. They're gonna take the places you ain't willing to take it.
Right.
And I witnessed that and seen that my whole life. So that became normal to me. So it wasn't, do you know what you're doing? Yeah, I know what I'm doing. I clearly understand what I'm doing. And I clearly understand what comes along with it.
So you have been to, prison, whether it was, state or feds. What ultimately was your reason for why you like, man, I'm done with this hustling shit. I'm cool on that. Okay. What was your reason why?
Okay.
Well, you was getting money. Mm-hmm. So is
mm-hmm.
people normally don't walk away from something that they are successful at. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's good or bad, or whether it's right or wrong. So it takes a certain kind of person to stop doing something that they're good at and they making money from it.
Right. Well, I think about it was the things that come along with it. First and foremost, it's the consequences that come along with it. That I can handle the consequences. I can handle it. But I had to understand that everyone attached to me, the tentacles that reach out, that they no longer can. Like my parents. Like, alhamdulillah, I still have my parents. I got my father and my two mothers. Love them death, man. Like that, they're my hearts, man. I understand. I appreciate them more than anything these days. And they can't handle it. Wife, kids, my kids, riders, man. I can tell you my kids are some riders. My kids have been through a lot. Far as being their father, and they've never turned on me, man. My kids has never turned on me.
So even going to prison never affected your relationship with your children in a negative way.
Of course, they feel some way sometimes, but they never show no resentment to me.
Okay, that's good.
Like
that's
my
good.
kids has never did that, and I had to acknowledge that this last time in the feds. My siblings, like nieces, nephews, I'm like, no, I can't do this no more. Everybody, my family, friends, like people, friends. I got friends have been riding me all days. Like they've said things like, oh, we tired. We tired. It's 15 years, man. We tired. Well, we tired. I'm like, yeah, all right, right. So it had to be for them initially, but now it's for me. So it had to be for something for that. And the other things that also attached along to it. Now, one other part that attaches to going back to 2001, it wasn't all about the charges itself. I mean, it wasn't all about the incident itself. Now, true, there was some discrepancies within the altercation. So, but I'm not gonna get too much details in that. But it was who I was. So the whole case was going to be about, even if that was, look at him. Look what he known as. Yeah. Look what we know. Look at him. How do we have all these cars? Jags and Benz, Actors and Lexus, Finney.
Mm-hmm.
Back then, $60,000, $80,000 old school. They like, how? Where you get it? Remember, I had no criminal record. I had none. Oh, and I had a job. People didn't even know that. It was a joke, but and that's a whole nother story.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so because I had to go get me some credentials. I got tired of putting things in everybody else's name. So I'm like, you know what? Females flipping on you, family flipping on you. Like, you know what? Because you know, on the streets, we was taught not to put things in your name.
Yeah, for sure.
So I did. I'm like, I can't put nothing in my name if I ain't got the real income back then. So I'm like, so I went and got a job because I didn't have no criminal record. So I can get some things in my name. So I can go put my own things. And I started doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of depending, it also taught me the real accountability and responsibility. So all of that being attached to that, I had to realize as that ultimately led to me getting that conviction. It wasn't about that.
Yeah.
It was about, okay, but look at everything else he's been getting away with. So the whole trial, even my lawyer told me, he said, okay, this is going to be about who you are. They investigate the streets, the research, even though it's here, they know all these things. They know all these things. They know it. You want an investigation now for other things, which kind of saved me. I didn't get too much details of that. But so it was always going to be about that. This is how the criminal system works. So all of that was going to be about activities and things that had nothing to do with these charges, which eventually kept happening. That's how it kept happening.
Yeah.
Kept happening. It kept happening. It's a trap. It's seriously a trap. So, and now where I'm at, I understand I didn't know the value of self. That's one of the biggest things for me. Say I'm done with it. I'm on it because I didn't really believe in myself. And I think I'm one of the few that of our culture to really want to admit that. And I'm gonna tell you why. Sum it up real quick. We know what we can do on the streets. Because if I really believed in myself, I had legitimate business, all these type things, but we wouldn't be one foot in, one foot out. I'm gonna tell you why. This was the realization I had of self-accountability. How many times in the streets? Doesn't matter what it is. Before we got a pack, our hands on it, no matter what it was. We knew what we was gonna do with that pack. If we was gonna break it down, if we was gonna how we was gonna do it, who we was gonna sell it to, how we was gonna sell it, how much profit we was gonna make off of it, what we was gonna do with the profit. We already got it spent. We get that pack and we do everything we say we was gonna do. And we didn't even have it. How many times? I'm not the only one who did that. We all done did that. How many times we do that? In that time frame, we say we gonna do it. So when I had to ask myself why I can't do that over here, 100% legit. Because I believed in myself. You believed in yourself that you could do that. And you did that. So the fact you still 1 foot in, 1 foot out, you don't believe in yourself. That is the honest to God truth.
I like that.
Because you wouldn't be 1 foot in, 1 foot out. Because you both feet in over here and you doing that.
Right.
So why you can't be both feet in over here and do that? Because you truly believe that you can do that.
Right.
You did it. And how many times we did it over and over and over again? So then it came to realization and say, epiphany was like, well, that means I can do this over here.
True.
Regardless of the legality. And if you say you like that, then show you like that. That means you can do it with anything. If I can do it with any product, I mean I can do it with any business. We even know in the streets it was guys that was limited to that.
Yeah.
They can do with this one, but they can't get with this one. You're like, wow, like you just limited. Now they can do these two, but they can't do this. Nah, it didn't matter what it was. I learned. It's business.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's business. So, but the point of that is not glorification. It's the narration of saying, exemplifying belief that he truly believed. You truly believe.
Right.
We truly believe. So why we can't do that over here? Because we truly don't believe in self. So I had to take that accountability. And that's why I'm like, dude, whatever I made over there, and I did like. And as I said, like we was kind of talking about how when I was sitting in the feds, I wasn't one of those individuals that sit around and brag about. Nah, that wasn't me. You right past any institution. I don't know how many institutions. I was at 5 or 6 and all the whatever many institutions I was in the feds that you will look at my pictures and anything, all you would see is my grandkids and my grandkids, my wife. That was it, my children. That was it. That was it. Now, if you didn't know these things about me, and then we get to sharing, they like, what the?
Yeah.
Bruh, like you don't even wouldn't mention it.
Yeah.
If you didn't know, you didn't know. Wasn't that didn't impress me? I've been doing that so long, it didn't have value anymore.
Right.
Because I understand now. I say whatever I made and produced in that, it's not gonna be able to quantify compared to what I'm gonna do 100% legit. Because I know what I can do. That was nothing. I had limitations on that regardless.
True.
Regardless how high you get, it's still limitations. Over here, there's none.
Yep.
That's what pharmaceutical companies are. You see what I mean?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, there's no limitations to that over here. Let's keep 100.
Right.
You got the paperwork. They got the paperwork. That's what I learned.
Yeah.
The paperwork is over here. And so it don't say the limitation.
So you mentioned about your wife. How's it been married? Like, how is it?
Alhamdulillah. Let's just first I'm gonna say Rocky. She's a fighter. Like Rocky, she's a fighter. You know, marriage, it has its ups and downs, man. Like anything else in life. It's about the companion that you have. There's many a times where she didn't like me at all. I didn't like her at all. It's been mean. That's perfect. No, there's no perfection. That is about learning and growing. You got to be able to build with somebody. But in order to build with someone, you got to be able to grow with them.
Yeah.
If y'all not growing together, y'all can't build together. So I always understood the value of growing. So as long as we continue to grow together, we're gonna eventually be able to, build together and continue to build together. Because if not, there's gonna be limitations on it. So it's about empathy. Marriage is the most thing about marriage is empathy, like effective communication and having empathy. A deeper sense of compassion. That don't mean that you have to agree with something or someone. Or you even have to like something or someone to understand why it is what it is. So empathy, that's a major key to any relationship, not even just marriage. It's just having to understand. I mean, you got to agree. You're like, I understand.
Right, for sure.
Like, even with the powers that be, even structure now, even when you look at inequality, I understand. Because that's how the 0.001% stay with that. I get it. I understand.
Yeah.
I don't mean I like it, but I understand.
True.
Now it's up to me how to choose how to combat that. If I don't like it. But I understand. I get it. I don't take it so I don't take certain things personal more. But yeah, so with the marriage, any relationships, man, it's communication.
How would you grade yourself as a father? Then is that you have left your children's life going to the penitentiary. But how would you grade yourself as a father?
Sometimes I think I'll be I consider I was a good father. Right?
A good father?
Yeah, I always consider myself a good father. But there was a lot of things I knew I could have did more and did better. But then during these last 8 years in the feds, I realized and said, no, that being good that's not good enough. What they've stuck with you and been by your side, they deserve greatness out of you. You're not the greatest. You'll never be the greatest. Only Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala be the greatest, but they deserve for you to be great as a human, as a father, as everything you could provide for them and every structured, being a beacon of guidance. And I learned that being a beacon of guidance is the most important element is that those that you have influence over is to help build a mind where they can see things for what they really are and not what they believe they is. That's two different things, for what you believe and what it is. So as a father, my main thing is teaching the difference between facts and feelings. Ooh, not leading with feelings. Let's lead with facts. Because now the world treats you to lead with feelings. So now I strive to be, a great father. And even with me, I know it sounds funny. I'll let my kids tell you. I have to let my kids tell you. But even when incarceration, I ain't never stopped being a father.
Okay.
I don't know how. The only time my kids have never seen me in their life is incarceration. Even incarceration, put her on the phone, put them on the phone. Even during incarceration, I'm making sure my kids. That's the first thing. My kids. Is that right, Rocky?
Definitely true.
That's what's
Get on
up.
the plane, come visit.
Right. So, and then having that, and then alhamdulillah, having a wife and support the Rocky was that no matter where, like state, she there. Make sure the kid. Here we go. Feds hopping on the plane. Where y'all at? Fatherhood.
That's a blessing. I'm gonna say this actually our first time meeting, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Officially, yeah.
It's our first
Officially,
time meeting. But I have heard a lot about you. And with the next topic, just tell me if you don't want to discuss anything. But from social media perspective, me watching you, I seen you dealt with some health issues. I think it was cancer, if I'm not mistaken.
Correct. Yes.
It was cancer.
I'm just waking up out of anesthesia for whatever the procedure. It's a esophagus bead procedure. And it was 80%, so the BCG worked. All that it goes to. It wasn't 100%, but he said it's 80% better because even for my health and my condition, my bladder was pretty beat up. And I'm pretty much healthy, so alhamdulillah. So it's worth it. I know it's a lot of frustration, but it's definitely worth going through. And the process continues.
That ain't how I do it. That ain't how I roll. I never give up.
You must understand that there will come a time in your life that circumstances are going to.
I'm still a lot of pain, hurting for crazy, but I feel much better than I have in the previous 3 weeks. Like this is like even with this is tolerable. What was 4 is not. 1 through 10 I can tolerate. 10 through 20 is intolerable. So it's definitely looking optimistic, looking the glass half full. Preservation, resilience, and tenacity. So it's part of the journey, part of the process. It's not gonna be easy. It's frustrating. Some things annoying, but you will be tested, and show worthiness. I know I can do it, and I will do it. We'll rebound and prevail 100%. Simplify possibility, show what's possible. Hold it up. I'm gonna let the number be the distraction.
It was cancer. So I really want to have a heart-to-heart conversation with you about you're dealing with the cancer, because from what I seen, in which I'm looking from afar, but what I seen, it was like you handled it so strong, you handled it so well. You know what I mean? And I find myself the health issues that I have to deal with, being type 1 diabetic, resulting in me kidneys failing, being on dialysis. And sometimes I just like I have questions. I question like, damn, why me? Why did this have to happen to me? You know what I mean? It's like this was something that a disease that I found out I had when I was 12 years old. It wasn't like a lifestyle of living bad or nothing like that. It was inherited and ended up hitting me out of all my daddy 14 kids. But sometimes I question the creator, like, why me? But me looking at you, it's like inspiration to me. Like, man, you need to be strong like this brother being strong. I know seeing you document doctor's appointments, see you working out with your kids, like see you like coming back, and it just seemed like you handling it so well. So like, where does that strength come from, man? Because I found myself getting down sometime and just like, asking the question of why. Like, what did I do to deserve this? Like, why me? But then I try to reflect and look at a 2 or 3 year old kid that might have came out, the mother womb a couple years ago, and now they dealing with some kind of health ailment.
Mhm.
So how do you stay in a positive mind frame, like dealing with your disease?
Dealing with the cancer. Well, I have bladder cancer. Well, number of things, but major things right now is bladder cancer and dealing with. I had lumbar surgery on my back, so I had to learn how to walk again. I was in a walker a year and a half. It was a year and a half now. Yeah. So, which both of these at the same time. So I'm literally on a walker. Just found out. No, I get on a walker and I just found I got cancer. So all this is going on at the same time. So for me, personally, the positivity of it, my mindset of how I handle it is, I'm just gonna be honest, man. It's Islam for me. Like I can't make it up, man. Like literally, this is what it does for me. Like this is what it does. It teaches you things from a perspective. It's a religion. It's not a religion. It's not. It's not what it is. It's a way of life where you learn to study these things for yourself and not what's been told to you, but what's actually what it is. And you learn. I promise you, your mind gonna be like, wow. Like we talking science, like science. So in these things is taught, it teaches you how to handle things different, not from like the perspective, a Western civilization perspective, which is capitalism, which is control. So it teaches you things of life is not supposed to be perfect.
Okay.
It's not meant to be perfect. So if you believe, say, in an afterlife or a higher deity, and say if you believe in a heaven or a hell, right? I mean, there has to be something that decides that, right?
True.
I mean, so and this is the only place in between.
Right.
So that means decided here. So that means if there's a paradise, if there's a heaven, then what is this? That's the only thing that's supposed to be perfect. This is not supposed to be perfect. This is the test. This is the test. This is the test. So, and it teaches you that. So you don't take so many things personal things. You look at things different and a lot of things. So I that is what keeps me positive and knowing that you don't always have control of what happens to you, but with Campos Mentis, with the same mind, you choose how to respond.
Choose how to respond.
And your response is how you exemplify possibilities.
Powerful.
And energy is not lost nor destroyed. It just transferred from one object to another. So if you negative, it's gonna pass on. If it's positive, it's gonna pass on. Remember, it cannot be destroyed. That's why you remove yourself from situations like too much negative.
Yeah.
It's not going nowhere.
Right.
Energy cannot be destroyed. These are laws of it. It cannot be destroyed.
Right.
Positivity, either whether it's negative, it can't be destroyed.
Right.
So it can move around. So it, choose the energy. Choose the energy. So I choose the positivity because out the negativity, there's nothing gonna come out of it. And then also coming from, from the street life and being in it so deep, and you start realize all the negativity that you learn is accept. Like, no, I don't want that no more. So I choose to be positive and look at it, half full, glass half full. It's not L's are not losses. They're lessons. You learn from them. You learn from them fast. So a knowledgeable person learns from their own experience, but a wise person learns from the experience of others.
Oh my
That's
God.
credible.
Yeah, you're right.
So I choose not to go through. I choose to be wise now. Do I?
Yeah.
I choose to be wise. I'm like, I know the probability of that. Nope. I don't need. This is credible.
Yeah.
I'm credible. Oh, that part. This is a major part that I want people to think about is when it comes to the incarceration and the decisions that that we decide. That we make. I first started urinating blood probably it was in like 2019. And I'm trying to go and I go to them and I'm telling them where
You're in prison.
In prison.
19, yeah.
I'm in prison. This time I'm in West Virginia, Beckley. And I'm telling them, yes, I'm in the mountains. So I'm out there in the mountains And now you start thinking about health. So I go down there and I tell them what's going on. And at first they don't take me serious. It's hard. I had to get some help. So what I had to do was I ended up saving some underwear that had some blood in it. So I took that with me. And up until I showed them that, they really weren't taking me serious. They were sending me back to the unit. So then I showed them, like, look, this is what happened. So they started taking me serious and they asked, certain questions. You try to harm yourself and things. I'm like, no. So they put me on some medication, tell me it was probably my prostate. So now I had to get set up to get my prostate checked. And they give me some medication, Flomax. Nothing is wrong for my prostate. So now I'm taking it at first because I don't know what to do. You start panicking, like, man, this ain't normal.
Yeah.
Like, and I called her, I called home, called wife Penn. I'm like, I don't know what's going on. This not work. And she tell me, go see help, go see them. She direct me. So, make a long story short, every prison that I go to out there, a lot of symptoms that I kept trying to get, checked, addressed. Even like with my back, all these issues that happen in prison that I was trying to get addressed the whole 8 years with every institution I went to, every holdover I went through, every transit center. Nobody's, don't just take you serious, man. Really didn't get no treatment. So, I come home and start finding these things out for myself because as soon as I get in the halfway house, as soon as I get my first pass, doctor visit. I know things is wrong with me. I know things are not right. But people automatically look and see how healthy I am overall and say, well, he's okay. I'm like, no.
Right.
I know things is not right with me. So it was me the reason how I found it. Because I'm like, nah, let's go next. What's the next one? What's the next step? So be aware of the decisions that we make. Also, when it comes back to the streets and what we take for granted of the healthcare, you're not getting the best healthcare. Let's be honest, it's not. You're not. So let that be a part of the decisions that we make.
FlipSide Nation, make sure y'all like, share, comment, subscribe. We got exemplifying possibilities. Juan Dollar on the show. I want to ask you about we had a conversation. You told me about the stock market. When did you get informed to learn about the stock market? Because that's something I kind of want to learn about, but I've been a little hesitant. So where did you learn about the stock market?
Stock market, I first really started learning. I knew basic things over the years of self-education, right? A lot of buy and hold things of that nature, but I didn't know about options. I didn't know mergers. There's a lot of things that I didn't know that I started learning more. Actually, once again, I will always use my incarceration as higher learning.
Okay.
Like even before I'm sentenced, whatever county holdover you got me in, I'm already preparing for my arrival. I did that every single time. It don't even matter what the sentence is going to be. I'm already preparing for when I'm getting out. So when you see things that I would do, it's always by determination regardless. So I would start studying, I'm learning, I'm already learning. So every institution I'm learning. So certain things I want to learn where it's a lot of information. Especially I will be honest to say in the feds, and you're gonna have some of the most intelligent human beings that you will ever meet in your life. They're in prisons. Some of the most
a lot of white collar crime people in there too.
You just intelligence, man.
Right,
you have
for
sure. Even health. Some of the most healthiest physical fit people you ever gonna meet in your life. They're in state and federal prisons.
I believe.
Literally, they're
right.
epitome of health.
You're right.
Under those circumstances.
You're right.
So I've always understood that as being able an opportunity to learn. So I would always learn. So in moving pride and ego, like I've got things to offer. This person got things to offer.
True.
I teach you, you teach me.
For
I
sure.
was always that. I was always that.
Sharpest iron.
Yes, I was always that. So I always learned. And I've always taught as well. But I didn't realize how much I had to offer to teach. I never looked at myself that way until I started, going to all these different rooms and started realizing where I started teaching them about a lot of things. And I'm like, I never realized about myself. Remember, once again, self-value, self-worth, not knowing our true value, what we is. So as I learned more in there about with the stocks, and then I came home, Rocky was already doing it. but she had no structure yet. Rocky was gambling. I'm talking blowing the bag. I'm talking about bands. She like, yeah, feelings. That's the difference. So if you approach it like gambling, you're gambling. But there is a life, as Mark Twain say, life may not rhyme, but it definitely has a rhythm. So therefore, it's called setups. There's certain things that can be predicted. You learn the market. I promise it's a structure. So if you actually teach it, if you actually pursue it as learning, education, or business, you will excel in it. So you learn the setup of it. So it's like you can continue doing this over and over again. You can repeat it. It's repetitive. So the major biggest thing about it is learning to control your emotions. So you have certain rules. If you stick to those rules, I promise you that you're going to win. So it's not about being 100% right. You're never going to be 100% right. It's never going to be that. It's about having at least a 70% win outcome. And the benefit of it is you're going to lose, but when you lose that 30%, it is at very small portions compared to what you gain because you stick to the rules. Take the emotions. And a lot of guys that literally come from the streets, I really just want to show them they have no idea. They will literally run circles around Wall Street because it's so much of it is just like the streets. You just don't know how to articulate it. You don't know the formality, the structure of it. But once you learn it, you're like, oh yeah, I know what this is. This is this and that. Okay. Yeah. So that's the wholesale. Yeah, I'm going him. So that is Jesus. You just learning all of this. And I promise you, you already have the wherewithal, you already have the experience, you already have a risk tolerance. You just it's got to be gauged. That the average person don't have.
You said something, and it just made me think. I'm gonna ask. Listen, FlipSide Nation, in the comments, I'm gonna give out some gift cards. If y'all tell me what quote Terry Johnson that was just on here, Terry Johnson said a quote that Don King, was it Don King? He said a quote that Don King. What did Don King say about being in the feds? So I want y'all to leave that in the comments. Terry Johnson, Mr. Think About It, when he was on the podcast, he left us a quote that Don King said, and what you said, it just resonates with that. So I want y'all to leave that in the comments and got a little gift card for you. Man, that's you such a brother who is you're enlightened. I know I learned a lot from you from sitting here. So you got the stocks going on right now. I know you was into some other businesses before you got incarcerated. What else are you doing right now? Like what consumes your day?
Well, right now, what's consuming my day is well, I'm just now really getting. I had to take a break because of health with the stocks.
Okay.
So
you looking good, man. Like I wouldn't have dared thought.
Alhamdulillah.
I seen you working out with your son. Is he a football player?
Yeah,
Well,
he in college. Yeah, I've been training him.
Yeah, I seen y'all working out together. I'm looking like, damn.
Shout
man,
out
like
to Goldie Morrison, future NFL. Like that.
He like that?
Man, it's what he's taught.
What position?
It's off the fit. Well, he's a outside rush.
Oh yeah.
So when you see his transformation, is because all these things that I've learned.
Yeah.
He has the advantage. So when you see where he was when I came home, my son was almost like the process started right before I came home. I'd be calling him. I'd be talking to her. I'm like, where he at? Yeah, tell him about the eating and changing him on the treadmill because he was almost like 300 pounds.
Damn, for real.
So, and he didn't start playing football until like his first game. I was actually come home and make it to his first game. So his first game was like I think like a couple weeks before his 16th birthday, the first time he ever played. And he was like, something I want to do. And I told him, I asked him when I was on the phone on the feds, and I said, okay, Goldie, you want to play football? I'll support you. Okay. Right. And I said, how far you want to take this? And he said, I want to go all the way with it. And I told him, I said, okay, well, I promise you this, son. Physically, you don't know anybody that can do what I can do. You personally yet, you haven't met him.
Yeah.
Daddy like that.
Yeah.
You got to trust me.
Right.
I said, so skills wise, we're going to have to depend on somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
I said, but any sport, no matter what of it's physical sport, you need strength, you need speed, you need endurance. I said,
I
Daddy's
agree.
pretty much I ain't gonna say I'm an expert at it, but I got a lot of credibility in it.
Yep.
I got a lot of credibility. So he sees that now, and he understands more the value of it, because he's like, man, like, I'm a grandfather. You know, I still take 25-year-olds, I take 30-year-olds, I top them out. They're like, how? And this is during treatment. Matter of fact, I got to go. My treatment back starts what? When I go well, I got to.
You don't break the 3 months.
Oh, I got a break. So I
Okay.
go get a Cisco. Yeah, there this week. So I get a little break. So I'm not trying to build back up during the break. So but yeah, man, it's it definitely pays off, man. So, you know, learning these with the health things and learning. So now I am focused with Tracy between training him, getting back full stack with the stock. So that is nothing that I'm saying that I've read or think. This is things I was actually doing, so I know it worked.
Yeah.
Like I'm saying, I was actually doing it. Something once again I taught myself. But now it was a little overzealous. I'm not gonna lie. I was doing I want to average 8 to 16 hours studying days. Literally.
Yeah.
Family, they leave out, come back, I'm in the same spot. Everybody in and out the door, same spot. They can go to work, go home, go practice, go everything, go to school, come. He's still in the same spot.
Yeah.
But it's determination. Remember, take the same thing we do over here and apply it over here.
Yep.
I'm like, okay, show them. You say you can do it in anything. Show them you can do it. Tell them you can take something that you really starting from. Because then when it came to dealing with the options, I knew nothing. I'm gonna say I absolutely know nothing. I'm gonna show you what I'm gonna do with it, and I was doing it. So now it's about critiquing it and advancing it. So I learn more now. So now it's gonna be with the on the options, swings, day trading, training, and family. Even with you now utilizing the platforms. I want to utilize my positive ways, do more speaking, do more talking. I hope I can help. You know? Just being positive, man.
Something else we talked about that I think it'd be good for our viewers. Like some of the people who I had on the couch, they said they had I'm gonna say it might not have been no addiction to like using any type of narcotics, but they might have dabbled. So I'm gonna ask you, what type of vices have you had in the past?
As far as those natures, I had none of that.
Nah. Well, I know not drug usage, but I thought in the conversation, did we have something like you used to gamble real heavy or something like that?
I didn't gamble. I used to rarely drink. I had the audacity not to even smoke. He's like, you don't do what? Like no.
In that lifestyle, people can look at you kind of weird when you don't indulge in certain things.
I
like
would just
they'd be like,
it was my vice was the pursuit of the money. That was really my,
because that can be an addiction too.
It was.
Somebody was just telling me that just now. Like, man, you might not have never used no drugs, but you was addicted to getting money, which is an addiction too. They just told me that.
Yes, that pretty much was without no structure, because we lack financial literacy, global financial literacy. And that goes back to the stock market. If we understood that, it changed so much of our lives, because everything's attached to it. We was talking about that. Like everything in this room is attached to the stock market.
Yeah.
The value of real estate is determined by the stocks, your amenities around it, which is everything is attached to the stock market.
Everything.
That's getting paid first before this does. If you lose or you gain, somebody's winning.
For sure.
They winning. If you get a loss, they won. You get a win, they still winning. That's what the stock market is. That financial literacy. We don't have that. So now it's more structured. I understand that now. It's one thing to get it, but it's something else to keep it. And I learned that going back to us saying being in the feds, I wasn't one of those dudes. I'm the one that's going to tell you that, look, I'm not the one that's going to brag about it. This is accountability. I squandered so many millions of dollars. I don't know where it's at. That it's embarrassing. That's embarrassing. Ain't nothing to brag about. And I made it back. I will lose it, make it again. We're not talking about saving it. We're not talking about no old money. Lose means make them back again. Lose them, make it back again. Lose them, make them back again. But it showed me what I can do. But it's embarrassing Because even being in a situation that I was in, every incarceration, my feet still should have been kicked up, regardless. Now, this was alhamdulillah, I had, it was a better situation than any other times. But still then, I had to look and say, not saying I didn't have nothing to show, but it was like, oh, where is it at? Like, where is it at? Like, am I the only one seeing this accountability? When you know what and you start looking at like, even when you start looking at prices of things, you start thinking of things, you're like, bro, that ain't nothing. I didn't have that. You like, where's accountability?
Right.
There's no accountability, man. That's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. So now I take that and say, okay, now financial literacy, learning how to keep it and learning from that. Learning from that. But it also built resilience, tenacity. Now that's the positive part that we have that corporate world don't have. We know how to lose it and get it back.
Yeah.
They don't. Once again, this is strengths that we have that we don't know how to, execute them.
I think you really just answered my next question in there, but I'm gonna ask it anyway because it was on my mind. What's something that you would tell one of our viewers, or one of our viewers may be able to send someone if somebody was thinking about maybe jumping off that porch, or maybe they might have stopped hustling, but they, life been hard, shit tight for them, and they thinking about picking that pack back up. What would be your advice to somebody who was right there straddling that fence? Which way do I go?
Be honest with yourself and ask yourself that question. Do I really believe in myself? It's going to come back to that, man. It's going to come back to that. And if you really believe in, once again, you believe you're contemplating that because you know what you can do. That's why you contemplating that.
But
that's
you really can do that somewhere else.
You can do it somewhere else.
Going, right.
Exactly.
Right.
The fact that you contemplating that, you got to ask yourself, why am I only contemplating with that? Why do I only have this strong belief in that? Why you don't have that strong belief in something else? That's just ask yourself, is there another way? You say you like that, show you like that. It comes with anything. So, or you got to admit and say to yourself, this is the only thing I can get this money in. This type of money is the only thing I can get it in. Then I'm okay with that. Then that's okay. But if you say that's not the only thing, exemplify. Exemplify.
I like that. Man, we want to thank you for coming on the podcast. Exemplify possibilities. I love that. That's a cold handle. It means a lot. Is it anything else you want to leave the people with?
I'm just here positivity and just strive. Just shoot for galactic goals. Galactic goals is the aim for Icarus. Icarus is like 9 billion light years away. So that means if you shoot, that's 9 billion light years away. So the average human being, we look at it and says the cosmos is the outer space of Earth, the beginning outer space of Earth. So if you shoot for Icarus and you don't make it to Icarus, but you still in the cosmos is the outer space of Earth compared to the average human being. So even if you come short, you still win big. Don't limit yourself. You should have galactic goals. And that's what I've learned in being in different rooms. I've learned that we limit ourselves because we don't have exposure. So once you get that exposure, you make different choices. That's why I make different choices now. It's because I know the limitations or the lack of that ones that we place upon ourselves. Because when you get to those different rooms, you start believing in yourself, and like in the feds, every 100 legitimate, 100 million, 200 million, 400 million, a billion. Hey, Dollar, what you think about this? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
You want to leave the people with your socials?
Exemplifying I don't even know these things. Exemplifying _ possibilities at IG. Exemplifying possibilities at YouTube. Exemplify possibilities at TikTok and the same Juan Dollar on Facebook.
Man, I appreciate you so much for coming on, brother. Thank y'all for tuning in. Stay down till you come up. Peace. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullah. Alhamdulillah.